Good morning everyone. For today's topic, we are going to study about French Revolution. So basically, when we talk about French Revolution, there is one thing that you should remember, that France was the main center of all the political, economical and social changes going almost throughout the Europe. And in the meantime, when we discuss about French Revolution, we see all these aspects, all these circumstances affecting upon the political, social and in some circumstances even the geographical extent of France also. When it comes to French Revolution, we will definitely like to discuss about some basics of the rule and what were the basic things that actually caused the revolution into the France. So when we move further, when we talk about French Revolution, the one thing that definitely will strike into your mind, that why such a revolution happened, why such a thing happened, and what causes all the changes to be established in the society in the given interval of time. So let me make one thing very clear, that whenever you will talk about the French Revolution, whenever you will talk about the Revolution of France, one thing that you will definitely find in every common factor, the name of king, that is the Louis XVI. We are talking about the French Revolution. So basic causes. First one, when you talk about the causes, then let me tell you, the first thing responsible behind was Louis XVI. Okay, he was the person responsible behind the French Revolution. His family was known as the Bourbon family. When he started his tenure, when he started ruling as a ruler over France, then many things were going negative at the given time. So we will discuss about one of the topics and we'll try to explore it in the meantime. So let us get to the subheadings. So basic causes were, as I said, political, social, economical. Okay, so these were the basic three causes that caused French Revolution. So when we discuss about political, let me tell you one thing, that when Louis XVI, when he get to the throne of France, at the very same time, the population in France was around 28. At the same time, the population was around 28 million, and the previous government prior was already in depth of around 2 billion livres. Okay, so these things, that is, the population was around 28 million and the previous government was already having a depth of, that is, keep notice, the depth of 2 billion livres. And afterwards the population started to grow in a very rapid manner. The population started to increase in a very rapid manner, and they start to face crisis over crops, or you can say crop crisis. Crop crisis directly cause boost in prices, inequality and communal rights. Okay, so these were the basic things that actually happened. Prices boost, inequality raised, and communal rights came into existence. Communal rights started happening here and there. Now, social status, that is, when you will read about the social division of France, actually there were three groups: first group, second group, and the third group, namely nobility, clergy, and normal, or you can say common people. Okay, now nobility is the people, those who were directly working for the king. Second is the people, those who were working for the church, and here traders, farmers. It means all in all, like every other people, those who were not working directly for the king or for the church, just fall into this third group, that is the normal or the common group. So traders, farmers, and all the people working in these circumstances were under social group. Now, economical cause, as I have told you earlier, that the depth of this much prices was coming up over here, and it will definitely convert into the economical cause that you will see. So we were talking about the economical problems. So as I mentioned earlier over here, that population was around 28 million. So when Louis XVI actually came to rule, at the same time, the population in the year 1715 was around 23 million. But as it gained up to 28 million, France was unable to grow up enough amount of food, grains, crops to feed this much level of people living in their country. France was unable to feed them properly. And with this problem, the shortage of grains actually gained, and people started to fighting upon the bread, and wages just were not fixed at all. Like we all have once seen these stages in our economy also, when things just go negative, when we have a crisis, when we have any problem like a pandemic or something like that. So here it was also like the population was growing up, but the production was not growing with the same rapid pace. People started facing the shortage of food. Okay, this causes fall in wages, and it also convert into riots. Riots means things like robbery, murder, raised. Okay, sorry for writing as I'm holding phone from one hand and I'm writing with other. So riots and murder and these stuff actually started to raise up. Okay, and started to create a havoc like situation in the country. So we have now discussed about political causes, the social causes, and the economical causes as we have discussed. And now I will move in further, like to talk about the main strong acts that actually caused the revolution happen. So you will read that in immediate cause. So here I'm just telling the basic highlights only, trying to make it a little bit much easier for you to understand. But when you will get the book, this is the whole chapter. The first chapter that will consist of will be the name of French Revolution. And you will need to read this chapter especially in a very positive way. You have to give your full time. Reason because whenever you will move in the next class, in class 10th only, you will have all the glimpse of this chapter in your textbook of class 10th also. So just be very careful while reading this chapter. So now we are talking about the immediate causes. So remember the dates as I tell. Okay, 5 May year 1789. Okay, this was the date when the king, that is Louis XVI, called off a meeting, okay, and the meeting was known by the name of Estates General. Okay, I'm writing over here. That was name of that meeting, Estates General. So what is Estates? I have told you over here that these three, okay, these were the three Estates. So it was called off a meeting of the Estates on date 5 May 1789. But the basic causes of the meeting was to impose taxes. Now let me get you one thing very clear. When we talk about the taxes, only the third group taxes were only liable on the third group. Neither the first or the second used to pay the taxes. So these two were not paying taxes. Taxes not paid by these two. Okay, so these two groups were not paying taxes. Only all the taxes were being paid by the third group. So people of third group, like as it was consisting of around whooping 90% of the population, 90% of population was from the third group. Okay, as I said already, all the traders, farmers, peasants, and businessmen, they all were consisting into this third group, and they were over there when the taxes were proposed. The outcome of the taxes was like that first and second group will not pay any kind of taxes, and only third state will have to pay taxes to the states, to these two states, for running of the government and for maintenance of the church. So they started rejecting this appeal. The third states rejected this appeal, and they walked out of the assembly. Like people, they were, and you will have an image in your book whenever you will see. So it was like this scene. I will try to represent it over here. There were tables over in the line. Okay, so here was the first group, here was the second state group, and these were the standing areas, and the people from third state were here in these areas. That is, in that assembly, even these people, that is the third state group, were not even offered place to sit properly. Okay, so they walked out of the assembly by dissatisfaction, and the riots started to appear. After this, there are more things that will fall upon, and I will tell you, but till the time I'm going to recap it as soon as possible. Okay, and we'll sum up this topic. So we are talking about French Revolution. So basically, when we talk about French Revolution, mention it that there was not a single day, not you will read about this particular time that when the French Revolution started. Yes, incidences are definitely there that will sum up on a single day. Like as I will tell you in future, the demolition of the Bastille prison and attack on the Prince Palace and different systems. You will definitely read about all those topics in upcoming time through these classes. But for this time, what were the main causes? Louis XVI from the Bourbon family. People were especially dissatisfied from Bourbon family, and Louis XVI also did not take immediate actions against the biases existing. Political, social and economical. Political problems, like as the population was already raising, the population was already growing up, and people were not getting their power as per required. Okay, the debt that was over the government, that was of 2 billion livre, it raised up, it continuously raised up, and for all these debts, they were doing one thing that they were doing just was imposing taxes. So government was just doing the same, like as in the meantime, when you see that if our government also needs money, what does it simply do? It imposes taxes on people and try to raise money from that section. Here the things were also going in the same way, but what was the drawback of that? That it was being only imposed from the third estate. Neither the first or the second were paying any kind of taxes. So this was a basic criteria over here that continued to the riot and the revolution. Social causes, that distribution of power between these three groups. First and second estates were having all the type of power, and third estates, despite of paying all the taxes and stuffs, they did not have any type of power. We will discuss about further that how their voting rights, their rights has been harnessed over here, or they have been out of it. Economical problem is that the rise of population. As the population start raising, France was unable to support the raising population, and the shortage of food became a common crisis. We will discuss about the sandstorm and the dust ball, these things. You will read about very soon about all those stuffs. But in the meantime, just came to know that 23 million was the population during the year 1715, and it continued, it raised up so high, and came up to the 28 million mark in the year 1789. In 1789, the population raised up to 28 million. Food shortage came, wages fall down, and then people start to attack the shopkeepers, the shops, and even rich people houses just to get their shortage fulfilled, just to get food for themselves and their family. Immediate causes, like these things were just going right, and they were just trying to accumulate all those things and cover up with these. But in the meantime, the immediate causes, like as when the taxes were directly imposed on the third estate, they panicked, and on 5 May 1789 they walked out of the assembly, and afterwards they just started protesting the king. They started going against the king, and things started in a proper revolution way. After this point, we will read about the demolition of Bastille prison, and we will continue that topic further. Thanks. If you have any queries, you can definitely reach me. It's Vivek from Neo Ambience Academy, and my contact number is 81155555492. Thank you.